In the instructional technology department, we focus on technology. Instructional technology was kind of a broad sense of the term. So instructional technologies are certainly the hardware, the tools that we're using. So the web development, the multimedia development, the material development kinds of things that we do in instruction, whether it's in education or in training. It's all a very important part. As the tools change, we still use them to support a lot of the same processes. We've got presentation technologies, we've got print technologies, all those things kind of work together to perform the development of materials. But we also focus on the process. So we talk about how people learn and how we can use technologies to help people learn either better or in new ways. We talk about a design process to follow. So we also relate quite a lot with the instructional design world. So we bring technologies and process together to form effective learning for various communities.
Well, I think the focus from when I was thinking in terms of our program, we have a focus, and so the things that I teach are how to really improve how people can teach themselves. So our interest is learning, and for me, the focus of technology in 2012 is how it can really help all of us as individuals become our own personal power-driven learners. And the interesting thing is that today, mobile technologies and handhelds, they put learning right in your hand. And so it can become a common thing that we can do and yet access the really powerful stuff that's out there that used to not be available to us unless we were in the right classroom. Technologies are changing at such a rapid pace that in this program it's important to teach people how to stay up with the technologies, how to evaluate what's good and what isn't good, and how to be critical in your judgment of what to use so that you can really have live, new stuff in your hands when you go out there and teach.
I thought this would be a good way to sort of take the love I have for teaching and sort of my ability to teach with technology and try to develop it and sort of go, I guess, try to figure out kind of what's the next level. I mean, I teach high school now, and that's awesome, but after doing it for a while, I'm kind of ready to think about kind of what's next, and ITEC programs seem like a great place to sort of get a feel for what that would be.
I actually had a friend who was in this program, and he was explaining what it was all about, and I really thought it was really interesting, and I decided to join the program. I just liked what the program was all about. It combined education and technology, and I really had a lot of interest in both of those fields.
I got my undergrad in multimedia, so I work with video and web and graphics. And so I wanted to go back to school and work to do something for basically something that related to what I worked for there. And I guess instructional technology worked that way because they can I guess use my video and graphics skills for instructional and training purposes.
Yeah, so my project, I had this idea to teach the elements of art. I'm an art teacher at heart in my background. And so I wanted to teach the elements of art, but I wanted to do it using mobile devices because I think, people are getting so used to mobile devices and they're such a part of our lives that it's an important thing to start to use. So I reached out to the Cantor Arts Center at Stanford University, and they were very hip to the idea of doing this unit where you're on site, so you're at the museum, you're cruising around, you see a work of art that you're interested in, it's got a little sign with a QR code on it, you scan it with your tablet or phone or whatever. It brings up information about the element that sort of relates specifically to that work of art, and then after you read about that, you can sort of go in deeper and explore it one level down where the image becomes kind of interactive, and you can tap and drag things around, and it's sort of it exaggerates and kind of exemplifies what they're talking about with that element.
My project was called Home Buying 101 in California. It focuses on learners who are first-time home buyers who are interested in buying a home in California. I focus on teaching people the steps of the home buying process and the roles of the people that they may come across and the terms. and I just kind of chunk it so it's easier to understand and give them a basic overview of the process.
I had a weight training website that targets slim people like myself on the proper way to do it. You know, I'm gonna tell them what I did, and you know, I'm gonna stress that I'm not an expert. It doesn't work for everybody, but it worked for me, and you should give this a shot and look at the steps I did. Look at the diet, the exercise. You know, rest is important.
I think the biggest thing I got out of it was really sort of expanded my horizons on what instructional technology really meant. I mean, I come from a pretty standard traditional K-12 education background, but the program is so much more than that. I mean, I expected to be a bunch of teachers, and there's people from industry working here. There's this whole world of instructional design and corporate training and human performance improvement and that kind of stuff. So it really broadened my horizons on sort of what it meant to be a teacher. I mean, yeah, you can be a teacher in a classroom, that's awesome, but there's people teaching different things every day all over the world in all kinds of different situations. So it was really good for me to kind of see just how many more avenues there were to education.
One of the key things I learned was I've actually been in education for 10 years, and one of the key things I learned was that how to systematically put together the training that you create, how to analyze, and basically a lot of ADDIE. I didn't know that I was doing some of ADDIE before, and this actually helped me organize things.
I guess I understood the ADDIE model. That's something that I'm taking home with me. It's analyze, design, develop, implement, evaluate. I know I did that prior to going to school here, but I never really knew exactly the process of how it went. I just kind of did things. So it was good for that aspect, for writing documents and usability testing and implementing your projects or your website or whatnot, and then evaluating what you're doing. So that's what I got the most from this program.